Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. How you guys doing? Ahmad Hammoudeh here, and I really hope that you guys are as excited as I am talking about ways to get to Jannah. Because we all want Jannah, right? Eternal happiness, eternal pleasure, everything that we can imagine and more. So inshallah today we'll be asking and answering what ways we can get to Jannah from the advice, the authentic hadiths of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and even a verse from the Quran, a way that we can attain Jannah. So before we even get to the advice of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and even the ayah in the Quran, I want to ask you guys a serious question. Do you want Jannah? Like seriously, do you really want Jannah? Because you can't claim that you want Jannah or that you're striving for Jannah, paradise, without you actually working for it. You know, sometimes I understand that it may be tough, it may be rough, things might not be going your way. But listen to the authentic hadith of the Prophet, peace be upon him. When he tells us, he says that paradise is surrounded by hardship. So sometimes if your life is going hard or, you know, things might not be working out for you, just know that maybe this is a sign that you're on the right path, and, you know, sometimes you're going to have to struggle. Also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, he says, do they think they will enter paradise without tests? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to test you. He's going to test the good people and He's going to test the bad people. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing you, and all you have to do is just pass the test, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to grant you Jannah. So inshallah today we're going to talk about some authentic hadith and even an ayah in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet peace be upon him tells us some ways to get to Jannah. We're not going to discuss all of them, but just some of them, and inshallah we can act upon it and we can be from the people of Jannah. So firstly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this throughout the Quran many times. He says, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. How many times do we hear this? One example of this is in Surah Al-Baqarah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أَنَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and give glad tidings to those who believe and do righteous good deeds, that they will have Jannah beneath which flow rivers. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this many other times, Surah Al-Ghafir. So we hear this a lot. So what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mean by الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ? It's very simple. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, those who believe. Who are those who have belief, first of all? If you sincerely have believe in your heart and testify that there is no God except Allah, and that the Prophet, peace be upon him, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is his servant and his messenger, then you have belief. If you believe this with certainty, both outwardly and inwardly in your heart, then you have belief. Second is action. The 5 pillars of Islam. You know, other things that we are instructed to do by following the sunnah of the Prophet, peace be upon him. These are things that if you believe, then you have to do these actions in order for that belief to be complete. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us many times, hundreds of times in the Quran, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. So we have to be from those who believe and do righteous good deeds. That's the advice Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us in the Quran. Now we're going to talk about the advice that the Prophet, peace be upon him, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, gives us in his sunnah, in the authentic hadiths of way that we can go into paradise. So the first hadith we're going to go over is in Sahih Bukhari, where a man actually goes up to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet, peace be upon him, and he asks him, inform me of a good deed that will lead me into paradise. Straightforward. He comes up to the Prophet and asks him this question. So what's the answer so that me and you can benefit? The Prophet, peace be upon him, tells him, in order for you to enter Jannah, you have to worship Allah and worship none other than Him. This may be simple. Oh, Ahmed, we already do this. And why are you bringing this up? And this is just a part of the hadith. Is that, yes, maybe me and you, we don't worship like an idol or a different God. But sometimes me and you, we put our school, or we put our job, or we put something, you know, that shouldn't be in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this almost acts the same way. So when the time for prayer comes, or when the time comes for you to put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and obey Him, He should be number one. Not your job, or not your school before Him, or not, oh, I have to study, or oh, I have to do this, or I have to do that. You have to put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala number one to complete this, to complete the first step. The second step that the Prophet, peace be upon him, tells this man is that you should perfect your salah. You should perform your salah, your prayer, perfectly. You know, me and you, we think that, oh, Ahmed, I have my salah in my back pocket. I already know how to do all these things. I'm asking you, do you really know how to pray perfectly? You know, there's scholars who've written volumes of books on how to perform prayer correctly. Do we know what we're saying is correct? Do we know that our pronunciation is correct? Do we know that our Quranic pronunciation is correct? Our Quranic recitation. Do we know if we're reciting Surah Al-Fatiha correctly? This is things that we have to keep doing, an ongoing process in order to perfect our prayer. So this is something that I really want to stress, because I know it's something that's very, very common. That people just think, oh, Salah, man, I learned that when I was a kid. I know how to do that already. But sometimes we have major mistakes in our prayer that we need to fix. So that's number 2, is trying to perfect our prayer. Number 3, the Prophet, peace be upon him, says, and give zakah. Give zakah, the obligatory charity that me and you and every Muslim has to give. You know, it's very easy. Oh, when we Salah, I know how to pray. But zakah, you'll be surprised how many of us don't give zakah. Zakah is something that's very, very small, that once you reach an amount in your banks or your savings or whatever it is, that you have to give a small percentage of it to the needy and the poor. So something that we have to learn about, first of all, what is zakat? How much do I have to give? When do I have to give it? Who do I have to give it to? This is something that we have to learn, and something that inshallah we're going to grow up soon and we have to do it. And some people that are watching this video, they already do it. So we have to do it correctly and give the right amount. And it's something that, you know, is an easy way to get to Jannah, but a lot of us neglect and a lot of us don't even have knowledge of. The last and final advice that the Prophet, peace be upon him, gives this man, he says, and keep good relation with your kith and your kin. The Prophet, peace be upon him, is basically telling him that your extended family and your close family and your friends and the people around you in general, that's what kith and kin means. Keep good relations with them. You know, a lot of us will have best friends, or will have family members that we're really close with, and other family members that we're distance away from. Now, we don't have to be best friends with every single one in our family, but at the same time, that doesn't mean we zone out somebody, or we have a grudge with somebody. We're always arguing and disagreeing with someone in our family. No, you have some good relations. You keep the bond together. And I'm not saying that sometimes in the family is always going to be good and there's never going to be bad. However, overall, there should be a good relationship with the family and friends, and something that you must, keep strong. So that's the advice from the first hadith we're going to analyze today about ways to get to Jannah, that the Prophet, peace be upon him, told the man directly after he asked him, inform me of a good deed that will lead me into paradise. So the second hadith we're going to go over, and this is also in Sahih Bukhari. The Prophet, peace be upon him, he says that such a person who recites and masters by heart the Quran, then he will be amongst the noble and righteous scribes in Jannah. So by me and you reciting and mastering and reciting correctly and memorizing the Quran, we will be from the highest people in Jannah. So I have to read, 1. 2, I have to understand what I'm reading. Read the tafsir, understand it, see what it means. 3, make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. This is one of the biggest mistakes that we do today, is that we read Quran and we just think, oh, I just read it like that. No, but there's a whole science behind how you read the Quran. It's called tajweed, and it's something that's very, very detailed and something that we must do. And finally, memorizing the Quran. Be honest, how many of us actually try to memorize the Quran? Some people are saying, oh, Ahmed, you're talking about over 600 pages. You want me to memorize that? No, there's always a starting point. May not be 1 year, maybe not be in 2 years, maybe in 20 years even, that you'll memorize the Quran, and you will be from the noble scribes. Now, there might be someone on the camera saying, Ahmed, I don't even know how to speak Arabic. I don't even know how to read, or, some legitimate excuse, right? Even though there's very little excuse. He says, I just have difficulty. So let's finish the hadith and address this person who says they have difficulty reading the Quran and memorizing it. The Prophet, peace upon him, finishes this authentic hadith by saying, and the person who struggles in reciting the Quran, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will double him in reward. This is what the Prophet, peace upon him, says in the authentic hadith, that if you struggle reciting and memorizing the Quran, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will double the reward for you. So really, there's nobody who has an excuse to say that, I can't really do that hadith that you just mentioned, Ahmed. Next hadith. This is also in Sahih Bukhari. Now this one has to do with memorization. However, it's not even close to the amount of time and the amount of effort used to memorize the Quran. The Prophet, peace be upon him, says in this authentic hadith that's located in Sahih Bukhari, he says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has 99 names. And whoever memorizes these names will be granted Jannah. 99 names that if we memorize these names and we know their meaning and we act accordingly upon those meanings, then we will be from those in Jannah. 99 names. We'll learn that in less than a month. Me and you, we can name 99 people off the top of our head. But if we learn Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name, Al-Rahman, Al-Rahim, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus, Al-Salam, easy names, and we just memorize its meanings and act upon it, then we will be from those who attain Jannah. Next hadith. Now this authentic hadith gives us something that's very, very easy and something that we must be doing consistently, so in order for us to achieve Jannah. What am I talking about? I'm talking about when the Prophet, peace be upon him, tells us, he says, whoever recites Ayatul Kursi after each prescribed prayer, then nothing will stand between him and Jannah except for death. So the only thing standing between you and Jannah is you dying. So recite Ayatul Kursi after each salah, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, Fajr, and you will be from those in Jannah. And for those who haven't memorized Ayatul Kursi yet, after you've done your prayer, take out your phone, open up the app or open up a picture and recite it after each salah, and then you will be completing this hadith. Next hadith. Now this is something that you're doing right now by watching this video and by you memorizing Quran and learning about hadith. It's gaining knowledge. What did the Prophet, peace upon him, say about this? Whoever takes upon the path of knowledge, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make his path to Jannah easy. So by you learning more about Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make your path to Jannah easier. So all you have to do is just learn about Islam. Watch this video, learn some Quran, learn some hadith, listen to some scholars, listen to a daris, let's go to the khutbah. Many things that you can do in order to make your path to Jannah easier. And finally, last hadith, something that is so overlooked, is raising your hands and asking for Jannah. The Prophet, peace upon him, says, whoever asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for Jannah 3 times, then paradise will say, oh Allah, admit him into paradise. Dua, something that has so much virtues and so much benefits, yet we always overlook it. Just simply ask for Jannah. That's it. And you will be granted Jannah, inshallah. If you like this video, please click the subscribe button once again so that you guys can stay tuned for my newer videos. Also, so you can check out my older videos. One video in specific that I really stress you guys to watch is a video called Is Islam Hard?, which will show you how if you just perform the 5 pillars, basics in Islam, that you will be from one of the best of people in Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.